Hello guys, it's Paula. Back tonight to do a video. I'm working on some things that require collaging on this big paper. And I've kind of got a plan in works, but I'm not sure of the details, so I'm going to save those for later, just in case something happens. Okay, so what I am going to do is some collaging, and I'm going to, it's going to be a little different. Like, I think I'm going to do some pinks and blues and browns, and it's just going to be unexpected, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to get my collage book right here where you can see, and helps to turn the paper over. So I've been making myself collage sheets, and this is what this one's going to be. You know, I like to do different color collaging, and so I decided to go with something lighter, or on the lighter side, you know, not so dark, and no black stitches or anything like that. I just want it to be softer, okay? So, and I know that that's easy to do, so, and will be fun to do. I have a tendency to like pink and blue, and you know, I think not all women, but a lot of girls do. But I like them together, but I also like to throw in a little bit of mint green. You know, but I'd like harsh, fun, you know, type things too. I just want to do this one in some softer colors. Just a little bit of lavender. We can throw that in there, can't we? Now, it's not going to all be paper, pastels or anything like that. That's not my plan. It just has to, my eye has to see it and decide, you know? And, I'm going to try not to take forever to do it, because it is a big page. But I'm going to be doing a few of these off and on. And, yeah, so I'm just kind of filling in around the edges right now. And then I actually want to put some paper in, some journaling paper. Now part of this will be covered up, so I'm not going to worry about it having some straight edges, because, you know, I'll be covering up part of that. I'll be covering up the edges. I'll make a point too. I'll put it that way, because I don't want it to be just, you know, how about I put it off to, let's put it off to this side. I do want it to be straight. That's close enough. I try to remember the plop and plop it and glue it. And I don't want these to be tiny little pieces. I'm trying to, I really would like for them to be bigger. I have a tendency to be accustomed to doing them smaller, because it seems like when we're doing smaller projects, you want to do smaller scraps, you know? And so I really don't have much plan, except I found this in an old magazine. I don't even know how old it was right now off the top of my head. This rose that I really liked, and I want to try to make it look good on this paper. Now, this is some really old vintage paper. This is, and so is this right here. that I got. This is wedding, but of course we're not going to use the wedding bells. But yeah, it's very old, and I got it somewhere, I don't know, in Ohio. That's where it was when I went to visit the Cleveland hospital there. That's where I picked that up. And anyway, so I want to incorporate it in this because I think it's got this softer feel to it. Do you know what I mean? Okay, now after I lay this one down, I'm going to start looking at some other colors. It's not perfect, but oh well. I'm trying to find things without straight edges because for the next ones, you know, I've got so many little pieces that are not necessarily little pieces, but pieces that, you know, can be worked into it. I want it to look like a collage. I want it to be a collage sheet. And I've just been thinking that, you know, there's times when you get low on certain things and you wish you had a particular paper or whatever. And let me make sure that's straight. That's close enough. And it's nice if you have a master copy of a collage sheet that you made that you really like. Now, whether or not I like this when I'm done, that's a whole nother story. But I like to think that there might be parts of it I love. Anyway, so I hope you guys have had a good weekend. And I hope your Easter was a blessed Easter. I'm trying to think what we did. We didn't do a whole lot. I mean, you know, other than the normal. Trying to decide on this piece of dictionary paper. I'm not even going to read it. I probably should make sure there's not a foul word on it or something. Be my luck. But yeah, we didn't do anything, you know, over the top. I'm going to get my fingers working here. Let's do it right here. And again, I got to make sure it's straight. This is some thin paper now. Let's see. I'm sure butting all those that have to be lined up straight, something's going to look off. That's about my luck. Anyway, so just got some good news from my daughter regarding Charlie. You know, that will make you happy. If nothing else, that makes me very happy. Charlie has had a feeding tube since he was 2. And he, you know, for those of you that don't know, Charlie's got a rare autoimmune deficiency that only happens to 1 in a million little boys. And it's been a rough 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years. And on the whole family, but especially my daughter and her husband and my granddaughter. So I say all that to say we've been waiting for certain points to happen and to see him turn a corner. You know, his second bone marrow transplant worked, but the first one did not. And so he's had it kind of rough, but he's a trooper, and he absolutely hates his the belly band, or his feeding tube, I guess I should say. And he wants them to take it out all the time, but you know, of course, that's his source for food. And he had, even after he hadn't eaten very well, so the doctors have been kind of picky about letting that happen until they knew it was safe for him. But his labs are coming back good for, you know, some of the first times. His liver is finally cleared up. He is, you know, his joints still hurting, bless his little heart. He's got joint pain still. But that's from, you know, all the steroids for so long. He's been on steroids. And so that's what affects that. Anyway, I guess they got a message today that now they get to work toward getting the tube out. And because he's been eating much better. And, of course, he thinks he's just working toward walkie-talkies. Because his parents told him, you know, he has to be able to take, he's going to be down to 2 medications, possibly. And he's been taking so many medications for so long. He's even had to do IV at home. I mean, that's how much medication he's been on. But his mama sent me a video of him taking his own medicine out of the syringe. You know, just pushing it into his mouth. And he told me it tastes good, you know. And so we're excited that he is possibly turning a corner, and hopefully he'll be completely healed. And they say that, you know, it will be something he has to deal with for the rest of his life, but we'll see. I believe in miracles, so we'll see. I am going to go, but anyway, I just wanted to give those of you that's been praying for him a heads up that he got good news today. Oh, and then he also has a port, and so they've talked about taking his port out too. So he's excited. He was excited. Okay, so I'm getting some old music sheet. As a matter of fact, when my mom was still here, she loved to sit and sing old gospel songs, you know, from when she grew up. And trying to decide how much of that I want. Anyway, and so she asked me if I could find her an old gospel book, or music hymns, or church hymns. I'll get it out in a minute. Anyway, so I was in an antique shop one day, and I found her one, and she really enjoyed having that. So whenever she passed, I brought it back home, and now it is going on my collage sheets because it's just getting older and older, and the papers, you know, paper needs to be rescued. I'm going to put that one right there. So I want to try some different things on this collage. I think I want to try, let me make sure that's straight, putting some other textures on here. Don't you think that would be fun to put some different textures on? I'm thinking that would be totally different than what we've done before. And I don't want to use that. I think I want to use some of this tea stained paper. But where? I want to put my flower over here. I cut out a really pretty flower I want to put on here. Let's see. Let me tear some of this. I don't have any coffee stain paper that is any scraps anyway that are bigger than this. And let me tell you, it is work to do that coffee stain paper, so I'm not about to use it on just anything. I'm picky about what I use it on. I save it. It's got a dirty smudge. I might have to cover that up. That's a bummer. Okay, let's see. I know we have some, I want some of the brown text, I think, in there. And a little bit of the, oh, here's some. Maybe, oh, that would be upside down if I used it that way. Maybe we'll use some up here in this one little spot. My paper, my book is getting super amount of glue on it, so I'm going to take that out and get a fresh sheet so it will quit putting smudges on my papers. Okay. I know right now it seems like it's hard to tell the scraps from the collage from all these scraps over here. I try to pull out a bunch beforehand so I don't have to bore you to death looking for what I'm wanting to use. Okay. They say that when you do things, if you do, like, if you were to put buttons on here, they recommend you do, like, odd numbers. And, so I think I'm going to put another yellow on here because we only have the one piece of yellow. I don't necessarily, in design, that's what they tell you, but I don't necessarily feel like you have to. So I've got, definitely have, I have 1, 2, well, this is gray really, but it looks blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this has blue in the background. There are 2 yellows, and I really wanted to add some pink in there, but I don't want to do an overabundance of pink, and maybe we can add that somewhere. So, but I want it on, I think I want it on this side. Maybe we'll just rip this one side up here and see what we end up with. Since there's a little bit of pink in this flower on the left, I think we'll be all right. All right. Okay, let's see, where do we go from here? Maybe, let me see if I have one more kind of pink that I want in here. I don't want them to be identical. Just a little bit. Let's see, that's definitely a different pink, huh? Let's see. Where do we want this? Or do we want it? I think I'm going to save it. And if I need it, I will use it. But I'm digging deep here into the papers. I have a little bit of lavender, so I want to add some more lavender over here. Let's see if that will be the right size. I always tear my paper the wrong direction, and it makes me so mad. So if you pull back, if you tear backwards, and I know this, but I just, if you tear backwards, it will tear better for you. I don't know if this same spot's going to fit now that I tore all that off, but we'll see. If not, we'll stick it somewhere. No, not that way. Let's try this way. No. Well, we'll just put it right here. And then we can add a longer strip right here as soon as I find one I like. Okay, maybe. Let me see what's on the bottom of my little stack. Kind of get where you dig and then you're like, what do I need now? I think I want to add, I think I need to add, there's also in this stack is some since we've got black here, I think I'm going to add a little bit of this other black. And I'm going to put it right in here. Okay. Okay. And I really need to add one more piece of the brown that we have here. Maybe I'll bring it over here. Let's see what I've got. Let me find it. Where did you go? You know, here's some brown we can use. Oh, that's too thick. Sometimes the paper can be too thick to collage with. I don't know if you guys look at it like that, but I try to keep it at a... size, you know, that's usable. The thickness, that is. When I say size, that's what I meant. I just said it wrong. Let's see. I'm going to line this one up right here. And then I want to use one more of this, one more tear off of this for someplace. Maybe right in here, although that's next to that. So we don't want to do that. We really need something pink. So maybe that's what this is meant to do, you think? If I can get it to be the right length. Let's see. Yep. But getting it to tear tiny like this is hard. My thumbs say, that's crazy, lady. Why are you going so small? Yeah, see, it's not going to be big enough. I should have a bigger piece of it in here. Oh, here's some pink. We'll just use that. See if that's going to be big enough. It may not either. I've used a lot of my pink scraps. I'm going to have to get busy using some pink. I don't think that's going to be the right size either. No. But I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and use it because I like it up against those other colors. I like the way it looks. So I might have to put something right here. Okay, so what's next? Let's see. We have a blank spot here and here. And then we have this big blank spot, which I really am thinking, what can we put there, you know? I have, I guess what I'm really thinking is that we can put some of this brown. And since we have a long piece of it here, that's what we're going to do. Okay. I don't want to cover up the other stuff if I don't have to. Trying to make sure we don't. So my next video, I'm planning on doing, the next video, I'm going to pull in my design team project and we're going to decorate the book together. I showed you guys the fabric and told you it would be done with Tim Holtz paper. And so that's what I did, but I want to pull in some of the decorating part of it into a video. So that way you can get a good look at it and see what I've been up to. I have you know, slowed down a little bit working on books because I got so into the collaging that I had to make a choice and kind of went toward the collaging for a few days. And I'm trying not to overkill on that. I know I don't want to bore you guys to death. I know I say that, and most of you come back and say, no, it's not boring me. I love it. Well, I do too. I do too. Okay, so we've got everything on this side covered. Right here, I want to go back and add some more of this flower. And maybe we'll add another rose somewhere. Right there. All right. I love this paper. Even though it's wedding paper, I wrapped my daughter's birthday gift in it because I just thought it was so pretty. She never said anything, so you don't notice the bells on it. Of course, she wasn't paying attention to that sort of thing anyway. Okay, right here, I'm just going to put a little bit of this black paper like that because that'll repeat it. Let's see. Right there. Alrighty. That went a lot faster than I thought it would. We did that in like 26 minutes. I think once you figure out how you like to do it, I don't know. I couldn't explain how I like to do it. I just do it, but I feel like everyone I see that collages, their collaging looks different. It's kind of crazy. It's like it's a style of their own or something. And it's tearing paper and gluing it down, you know. But, okay. Whoops. Did I do that wrong? No, I didn't. I've got it right. Okay. All right. So, I want to make sure I got the edges covered. I'm going to scoop this stuff here over a little bit so I have some elbow room. You wouldn't believe the scraps over here. Okay, so I just thought we would just do this up in a few cool ways. Now don't jump out of your seats and say, no, don't use that. I'm just trying it. I haven't even looked to see what it would look like. I might have to just cut it off and use part of it. I don't know. That's pretty big, isn't it? I think it needs to be, or I've got a smaller, let's see what the smaller one looks like. Well, that's not even noticeable, is it? I'm wondering if just using the one rose, let me cut this one off. We can always add it back on. I mean, if you cut it off right. I don't know if I'm not liking it because it has too much color behind it. I don't know about that. So, I'm thinking it looks better on this side. So that's where we'll put it. And we're covering up just the little part of this journaling spot. So we're going to put it right here. We're going to leave the rosebud because it's kind of going to be off the page over here. And if we decide, let's just add it back up here and see what it looks like. I kind of like that. That's better. But I keep thinking in my head, do I want to use it on here, or do I want to save it and in the next one be more specific on what I put on here? I think I do. So we're going to color this one up. We'll see what all these little flowers look like. I fussy cut these because I thought they were so cute. Now, obviously, we don't have red anywhere in our mix here, but I've got several that go off the page, and I don't have very many. This is it. And I might add some other things too. I just wanted to use these flowers on something. I think that right there needs something to mix it up a little bit. And I don't really want these to be on here in a perfect order necessarily either. If I can get my fingers around it. Of course, these that have the flat edge have to go on the sides. This was from one whole sheet of paper, and it was a mix of a bunch of different things. And wait a minute, we need a red. Maybe we'll turn this little red kind of sideways. Where, oh, where? Maybe I'll bring this down further and this over. How's that? Now, I'm going to add other shapes too. I am just plain. I'm just experimenting. And I wanted to have my cutout rose ready to use, but I wanted it to also have the perfect background because I think it's really pretty. Okay. And now it will give me something to think about for the next one, because I'm really wanting to do some of my own collage sheets. And I've had people ask me to put my other collage sheets on Etsy. And if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. I not only have that, but I have several other vintage items that I have thought of putting on there. So, just let me know what you think about that. I have a lot of old vintage photographs now. I've been thinking about making some digitals with that. Because I just can't give them up because, you know, they cost so much. And I just thought maybe I could do some. And these pictures are so old that there wouldn't be any existing family. And then I have a lot of beautiful doilies and so forth. So I just, you know, I'm making them for myself, but if people are interested, I'll make some to put on my Etsy store. Okay, I think I'm missing putting this one down. Let me turn this. Paper is sticky. Okay. Okay, where did I have this? I think I had it right here. I think these little scribbly flowers are cute. I know I like to do them when I doodle. I like to do little scribbly ones. Now, that's where we're at so far. Now, what else do we want to put on here with this? Now, I had some different things in mind. Let me grab my my lace. This is just my scraps, you know, that I'm bringing out right now. And, but I want to put some, see what I got in this. I need to make a, I know something else I need to work on. Okay. But I want to put out a little bit of laces on this page as well. I think that since we're adding some red, maybe we can use that also. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want it to look too busy. So we'll just try one or two at a time and see how it looks. And we want to get the right side. So maybe we'll put this red one along here. I'm going to lay them out before I make any decisions. That's cute right there. You don't want a lot because then it's like, let me see which side's correct on this. I hate it when they make it where you really can't tell the difference. I'm going to cut this one little oddball off so it don't look so weird. These little stringy things are crazy on here. Okay. Okay. Not sure about this red. I'll leave it there for now, but I'm not sure about it. So we do have purple in here, but I don't think the purple I'm looking at is the right purple. So let me just kind of pull some of this out. And the reason I may just stick with like these, so I really like those, but I don't have that many of them, I don't believe. I'm digging down in my little bag, though, to find what I do have. My point, I guess, is that I want to just, since we're doing the flowers, I just want to add some lace flowers. I think it'll look cute that way. Okay. But because it's flat, you really can't put it anywhere but up against a flat area. And I think it looks kind of weird like that. What do you guys think? I think if we just do like 3 and let the, you know, 3 thing do the triangle, I think we'll be better off. I'm just trimming these shaggy ones. Okay, so maybe like this. I want it more up here, but I don't want to cover that flower. So maybe I'll bring it down here. I think that'll look better. And let me see what else we've got to work with. I think if I try to put one more thing in this bag, it's not gonna be cool. Okay, now, also got these. I mean, you know, these little flowers have been around forever. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. And I think they're just really too small for anything we want to do on this page. But look at this. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to put that on something at some point. See, the thing about these is they can be put in the middle. And here's some with pink on them. Goes more with the white. Let's put a little bit of that on there. I mean, it's just for fun at this point, right? And what my point here is that you can collage with more than just your paper. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to put that one right there, and that will give us 2 of those. And I think we don't want to go crazy. I think that, you know, that could be enough of that. So, okay, now to glue those down is going to be different than trying to glue down. And this thing is putting out so much glue. I'm going to lay it here and do it rather. You know what? I think I'm going to pull my book over here. If I get glue on the book, oh well. Okay. Believe it or not, this paper does settle down after, you know, after it's not wet. And I keep this as my master. And when I get ready to do a collage and I need some tear paper, I can just pull it out. And I've been working on this, and I've only used my paper that I've made once. But there are a lot of beautiful papers out there. I know Tracy Fox has some really nice tear papers. And really, any paper can be a tear paper if you want to purchase it that way. It's just a matter of this, you know, what's on the paper. Okay, I'm just going to glue on these flowers because it's going to be much faster than trying to get it down that strip. Oh my goodness. It's like, are you kidding me? I put that right there. I want to line it up the best I can. Okay, and then now let's do this big one. It's got a lot of little curlies hanging off of it. Little ravel section. Okay. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell which side is up and which side is down. That's when you just have to take a chance. So Sadie has been so sweet today. She got a bath yesterday and she just smells so good. And she's definitely in the cuddle smell. So she's been getting some extra cuddling. And I finally got her down to taking a nap. You know, she'll take a nap, lay down and take a nap with me. And really, sometimes most of the time, I don't even go to sleep. I just watch videos, but because I'm not sleeping at night, which I see my doctor for that tomorrow, yeehaw, she has learned how to lay there and take a nap. She's so adorable when she's doing it. I'm like, you look so cute, I have to touch you. And then, you know, you end up waking them up if you do that. But she knows she has to stay up against me, because for all this time I've been holding her inside my arm, you know, just kind of cradling her, and now all of a sudden, you know, I can move my arm out from around her, which is way more comfortable for me, and she will stay cuddled up against me. And if she gets away from me by chance, she'll come back and cuddle up against me. So cute, you guys. This baby that I thought was going to be crazy has ended up, finally is growing up to the point she's precious. Okay, now I'm going to throw this one over. If I can get it to cooperate. Line it up right there. And then we have this one up here. And then I think that will give us an odd number. And that's what I was shooting for. Okay. All right. You could use rickrack. You could use just about anything on one of these collage boards. You could use, like, you know, little hearts, or you could actually take your pen and doodle some little hearts on here. Anything is free game. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I want to put a label on here. And I'm thinking, how do I want to do that? Do I just want to make my own label? Do I want to just draw my own label? I kind of like the more decorative ones, but also kind of want to make my own. I've got one over here in my scrap box that I just saw a second ago. I like the shape of it. I don't know where it came from or anything about it, but I could use it as a template. But you know what? I cannot find it, and I don't want to keep you guys on here forever, but yeah, I'll have to look for it. But I could just put one of the others on it and then go for doing my own next time. But I feel like because the paper is pretty big, we need to make it pretty big. So you could put butterflies, you could put hearts. Just use your imagination. Bunny rabbits. You know, there's lots of different kinds of things you could do for that. Okay, I am still looking. Just a moment. Where are they? I must be overlooking them. Like, for instance, I want to show you this. So I have, you know, I keep a bunch of hearts punched. But just so you know, you could just, you know, add some hearts here and there. Maybe not on one exactly like this. Those are upside down. But you see what I'm saying? It wouldn't even look bad to do that. But not very many. I don't know. I'm thinking I like the way that looks a little bit with those three. So let's see if we can find three that have them in the right direction. Because when I was punching, I didn't pay attention, obviously. It looks like, oh, here's one that's upright. That's too crowded right there. Maybe right there. See if I can find one more. And like I said, we don't have to worry about perfection because it's not about that right now. We're just playing. Okay. Now, I usually like to add some negative punches, but since we're using the positive of the hearts, I'm not going to do that. But you can punch out flowers. You can punch out whatever. Let me get my tag. You can punch out butterflies. Okay, I have some that have a fun shape. I have to cut it out, but that's all right. Let me grab it. Get my fingers on it. Okay. So see, I have a stamp that I use for this one little tag, and I really like it. And what I would say to you, if you use a stamp, make sure when you fussy cut it that you cut outside the line and not through the line. Even if it means leaving a little bit of the white up against the line, because otherwise you really can't get that outlined feel. And I'm real bad about doing that. You know, anything I tell you guys, I've probably already experienced, because you know, you guys know, I screw up and have to, you know, do things over. But, you know, I feel like when I was learning different projects when I was younger, that I mean, if I could look back on it now and say, oh, well, I learned that, and that's why I don't do it. But, no, it was trial and error for me. Definitely was trial and error for me. Okay, so here we have a little... That sure is small for that, though, isn't it? You know what? I don't think we're... If we put one on here, we probably need to put on more than one. And that's too much. And let's see. Let's just look at it like this. Because I'll probably add some zigzagging. I think this is how we're going to leave it. And it's really not what I wanted to accomplish. So in a future video... We're probably going to do one that I can work my pink rose into. And I think the pink rose needs to be on a kind of have a big piece of paper behind it that's, you know, one big tear of paper, even if it's a text. And that I learned that from this video. So you know, it was well worth the time we spent doing this. At least for me working on this. So, I hope you guys enjoyed our time together. And, like I said, I'm getting real close to the point where I can bind the book together, and then you can help me decorate it. A lot of this stuff is made, but a lot of it's not. So, we still have that to do. All right, guys, if you could give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, I'd so appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, we'd love to have you. And thank you to all the new subscribers. And if you have a way to share and tell your friends about the channel, get them to join us, that would be awesome, and I'd appreciate that as well. So, until next time, I'm going to say good night. Good night, guys.